Alright, hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to my kitchen. Now, unlike a lot of other shows on YouTube, we're not sitting over here cooking stuff. I don't cook, okay? I do, but I ain't cooking on this show. I ain't blending anything. I ain't trying to see if stuff will fry in this cooking show. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mix drinks. Yes, we're going to mix the fanciest fucking drinks in the world. You know why? Because you're mixing with Mitchell. Today's drink, we're gonna go ahead and make something that's near and dear to my heart. We're gonna make Apple Pie Moonshine. Now, you know, everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. Someone has a friend of a friend that knows somebody who makes Apple Pie Moonshine. And I've always said, all right, well, you know, hey, can I get some of that Apple Pie Moonshine? I got $20 on it, man. You know, you just let me know and I'll go ahead and buy some from him. And, you know, next time I come around, they're like, yeah, man, he don't make it no more, man. He's dead. I'm sorry, he just dropped off the face of the fucking earth. So I finally said, look, I'll make the fucking Apple Pie Moonshine, and I'm gonna show you how to make the Apple Pie Moonshine. And since we're both friends, you can now say that you know a friend that knows a friend that makes the Apple Pie Moonshine. And then once you tell them about it and they say, hey, can you hook me up with that? Then I'll probably be dead or something, I don't know. Here's the ingredients. Here's everything that you need to make this Apple Pie Moonshine right here. And now, follow me over to the stove and we'll get this stuff done. Alright, so the first thing you need is you need your apple cider. We got, who gives a shit what the name of this cider is? We got apple cider is all you need to know. Alright, so with this we need 8 cups of apple cider in a fairly large saucepan. Okay? So here we go. Let's get it done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just a little bit for the homies who ain't here. Oh, that was way more than a low, wasn't it? Yeah, all right, who cares? We need the apple juice. All right. Again, who gives a shit who makes it? Just apple juice, whichever one is your favorite. We're gonna do 4 cups of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Homies who ain't here. That was also more than I thought it was gonna be, but who gives a shit? So, now that we have the apple juice and the apple cider in there, now what we need to do is we need to add the sugar. Because, you know, it's gotta taste like apple pie. You can't have apple pie without a little bit of the sugar. So, here we go. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add the brown sugar first. All right, so we do 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Get that brown sugar in there. Get up on here. See that brown sugar just getting squeezed in there. Look at that. Look at that. You gotta pack the brown sometimes. You gotta pack the brown. I don't even know what that means. So, all right, there we go. So once you got about 1/4 in there, dump that in there. Next thing you need is your sugar. All right, now with your sugar, you need 1 cup of white sugar. 1 cup. Hold on. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 cups is 1 cup. That's math. All right. So now the next thing you need is you need your spices. So what I like to use is I like to use some allspice and I like to use some nutmeg, but I have a real simple way of doing this. We got your 1/2 teaspoon. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna scoop out the 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. You don't have to be exact with it. Then you take your allspice and you just top it off a little bit. because a little bit goes a long way. Bam! I shouldn't have said bam, that's trademark. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Well, and slam! Let the boys be boys. All right, so now the next thing we need to do is we need to add the cinnamon sticks. I like to add 3 cinnamon sticks to the mix. Why 3? Because anything more, and when you're cooking it, it might taste just like cinnamon and spice, and that's not nice. So 1, 2, and 3, and there you go. Now we put the concoction on high. Now you always want to taste your concoction just to make sure that everything, you know, it tastes correct, because you might want to make a couple of adjustments here and there. So you scoop that up, and no, you do not drink out of the fucking things that you mix with. You dirty mother. Okay, we just put it in this cup right here, all right, and then we just take a swig. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome right there. Now, once you got your concoction all mixed up, what you want to do is you want to go on ahead and bring it to a boil. All right, you just want to stir for a little bit while it's sitting there simmering, about to heat on up. You set it to high. Now, when I say it needs to come to a boil, you don't want to actually let it boil. You don't want to keep your eye off of this container, because what happens here is all of the mixture that we done put up here is gonna start bubbling up, and it'll do it real quick. Look at that, look at that, look at that. So then you gotta take it off the heat, otherwise it's just gonna boil all over. Look at that. That is nice looking. Look, beautiful, beautiful. So what I like to do is I like to let it sit just on top of the heat for about a minute. Let it cook and simmer on in there now. And when it's about to boil over, I'm going ahead and just lift it up. Just lift it up. Best exercise in the world right here. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, that's so beautiful. After that boils for about a minute, I like to go ahead and put it down on low. Put a lid on it. It's on low. So we're just gonna stir it for just a little bit, one last little stir. One last little stir. Put the lid on it. And call it night-night for about 1 hour. Now after 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how cooked you want your apple pie to taste, you're gonna go ahead and take it off the heat and let it sit by itself until it gets to room temperature. You want it to be at room temperature so that once you actually use your grain alcohol, it's not, the liquid isn't so hot that it makes that alcohol, some of it, evaporate. And I know what you're saying. You're probably saying, Mitchell, you said apple pie moonshine. Where's the moonshine part of it? Well, look, I ain't got that type of time to make moonshine. You know how long it's taken to just make the apple pie part? Come on, get out of my face. But also it can be illegal in some states to even try to make it. It can be dangerous as hell. So I'd rather just go ahead and pick up some grain alcohol. What I like to do is I like to add 4 cups of that. So here we go. So once you have your mixture, I recommend having little mason jars here. I got pints. One for me, one for all my friends, or just all of them for me. It depends on how generous I'm feeling. And so you just scoop them in, use a strainer so that you can get all of the little pieces of spice and nutmeg, because you don't really want all of that floating around in your drink. Normally, a pot this size will make about, say, about 6 pints. Maybe a little bit more. Now all you have to do is put the caps on, which I happen to have right here. Now, like I said, this is the messiest process, part of the whole process here. But what you normally do is, with all the stickiness from spillage, just wash that off, and that will do one of two. It will do 2 things. It will keep your bottles from sticking, and depending on how warm the water is, it will help cause a seal there, so that when you actually take this top off later on down the line, it will just have that nice little mason jar. And there you go. that is the way that you make apple pie moonshine. Well, that's the way I make apple pie moonshine. You can make it however the fuck you want to, but if you follow these instructions, you will have a very fine sipping apple pie moonshine. So if you like this, just go ahead and leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to see me do more drinks like this or crazier drinks, just let me know. Leave a comment and let me know what drink you want me to do, and I will put this up. I'll make it, I'll drink it, I'll get drunk off of it, and then I'll thank you for letting me get drunk off of concoctions that you wanted me to make. So there you go. Take it easy.